Good morning, my Real News Midday TV family. Thank you so much for tuning in this morning for another news update for Saturday, October 4, 2025. And in the news this morning, police hunting toots as St. James robbery crackdown intensifies. The St. James police, who are on a drive to dismantle the criminal gang behind the spate of robbery in the parish, have identified a woman known only as Toots as the mastermind behind the illicit scheme. The gangsters are being targeted by the police under an initiative dubbed Operation Endgame, which was unveiled during press briefing on Thursday. It was hosted by Senior Superintendent Aaron Samuels, the police commander for St. James. According to Samuels, the police are focused on dismantling the robbery syndicate before the start of the upcoming Christmas holiday season. "We are going full throttle," explained Samuels, in outlining the bold objective of the initiative while underscoring the need for residents and commercial operators to do business without a fear of being targeted by members of the criminal gang. The police are claiming that Toots and her marauding gangsters have been targeting commercial establishments, especially Chinese-owned businesses. Despite the arrest of some members of the gang, which has resulted in the seizure of illegal firearms, the police say the gang remains active in neighboring parishes. "The Chinese business community is finally breathing easier," said the Deputy Superintendent of Police, Michael Moore, who heads the crime portfolio in St. James, as he outlined the success the police have been enjoying against the gangsters. Superintendent Lenroy Edwards, who oversees operations in the parish, described the Operation Endgame as the culmination of previous operations, notably Storm 1 and Storm 2, which were initially used to curb gang violence in Montego Bay. Going forward, Edwards is promising a more aggressive and resource-rich approach, which will entail using a combination of old and new tactics, along with support from the Jamaica Defense Force. "This isn't just about arrest. It's about reclaiming our communities, ensuring students can study, families can gather, and the tourism can thrive without the shadow of violence," he said. The initiative will also be used to tackle lesser-known crimes, such as the scourge of predial larceny, through strategic partnerships formed to address agricultural theft. The latest crackdown by the police comes amid a dramatic drop in violent crime in St. James. Between January and late September 2025, St. James recorded 43 murders, a steep decline from the 102 recorded over the similar period in 2024. Shootings have also plummeted by over 50%. "We're not just chasing numbers, we're building a safer and more resilient St. James," said Samuels, in putting the ultimate goal of Operation Endgame in context. Florida man missing in Jamaica. The police are seeking the public's assistance in locating 22-year-old Nathaniel Green of Apopka, Florida, United States. Green is of brown complexion, slim build, and about 5 feet 7 inches tall. Reports from the Savannah Lamar police are that about 9:19 a.m. on Thursday, October 2, Green was last seen in Greenchill District, Glen Islay, Westmoreland, wearing a black and white t-shirt, black jeans, and a pair of black sneakers. He had not been heard from since. Anyone with information or knows the whereabouts of Nathaniel Green is being asked to contact the Savannah Lamar Police at 876-955-2536, the 119 police emergency number, or the nearest police station. Larger quantity of ganja seized, several detained in St. Elizabeth. A major joint police-military operation across several communities in St. Elizabeth on Friday has resulted in the seizure of 700 pounds of compressed ganja. The news was informed that several people were taken into custody, including 2 Haitians who are suspected to have entered the country illegally. Superintendent Coleridge Minto, commanding officer for the St. Elizabeth Police Division, said the operation covered Barbary Hall, Nain, Flagaman, Southfield, and Junction. He explained that during the operation, which started early Friday morning, the lawmen were on the hunt for wanted persons as well as illegal weapons and ammunition. 6 motorcycles were also seized as part of the crackdown against the persons operating in breach of the Road Traffic Act. Additionally, a warrant was issued for Shamar Barnes, otherwise called the Tanso. According to the police, Barnes is wanted in relation to the September 20 murder of Jerome Laws in Little St. Elizabeth. He is being urged to turn himself in with his attorney no later than Monday, October 5. NCB executive accused of rape must be judged in court, says attorney. King's Counsel Peter Champagny has expressed concerns about the publication of the case against his client, National Commercial Bank executive Dane Nicholson, who is facing rape charges. Mr. Nicholson, who is the head of NCB's Fraud Prevention Division, has been charged with 6 counts of rape and 2 counts of grievous sexual assault. Nicholson was released on bail in the amount of $1.2 million when he appeared in court on September 16. He is scheduled to return to court on November 24, but Mr. Champagny has cautioned that the right of an accused person to have their case ventilated in a court of law and not to the court of public opinion must be respected. In an interview with the news, the senior attorney said the case is a timely reminder of why certain matters are strictly in camera. Mr. Champagny said he respects the ideals of freedom of information, but argued equally that the right of an accused person to have their day in court must be respected. He said the presumption of innocence is sacrosanct, adding that Mr. Nicholson's case is exacerbated by the publication of his name, photograph, and the particulars of his allegations. Several people detained in police operations across St. Andrew North. Several persons were detained on Friday during a series of police operations conducted across the St. Andrew North Police Division. The residence of dancehall entertainer Idonia, whose given name is Sheldon Lawrence, was among several premises raided by the police. The police say nothing illegal was found at Idonia's home. However, 2 individuals who were at the entertainer's house were taken into custody pending further investigations. Superintendent Randy Sweeney, head of the St. Andrew North Police Division, told the news that the simultaneous operations were in search of individuals suspected of involvement in criminal activities and the alleged possession of illegal firearms. Superintendent Sweeney reported that 1 suspect was arrested and charged after several rounds of ammunition were reportedly found in his possession in the Castle Heights community. He said the detainees are being processed by investigators. Meanwhile, Superintendent Sweeney is appealing to the public to assist the police in apprehending persons of interest who are wanted for serious crimes and murder in the division. The men have been identified as Fabian Watson, otherwise called Bulla and Tristan, a welder of Florence Hill, St. Andrew, and Hamilton Gardens in Portmore, and Chevon Matthews, otherwise called Max, of Zambia in Central Village, St. Catherine, and the Blue Hole District in Red Hills, St. Andrew. The others are Kemar Samuda, otherwise called the Scammer, and the Chopper of Red Hills Road, St. Andrew, Emar Gringham, also known as the Bully Beef of Andrews Pen in St. Andrew, and Kenroy Willis, also called the Papa of Lawrence Tavern, St. Andrew, who are wanted for murder or are persons of interest in several other shootings and murders. The men are asked to turn themselves into the Constant Spring Criminal Investigations Branch or the nearest police station. Murder suspect killed in St. Catherine raid. A man wanted in connection with the gun slaying of a St. Catherine fruit vendor was fatally shot during a police operation in the parish on Thursday. The deceased has been identified as 38-year-old Danville Powell, otherwise called Alex, and a Cool Face of Harwood District, Riversdale, St. Catherine. Reports are that about 6:40 a.m., police armed with a search warrant went on an intelligence-driven operation in search of Powell, who investigators said was the suspect in the September 28 murder of fruit vendor Wayne Hanson Mundell. On entering the premises, Powell allegedly attempted to disarm a member of the police party. During the struggle, another cop opened fire, hitting him. Powell was assisted to the Linstead Hospital, where he was pronounced dead. The Independent Commission of Investigations has since launched a probe into the incident. Guys, thanks for watching. Please join us this afternoon at 2 p.m. for another news update.